Greetings and welcome to the Mid-Missouri Kayak and Weather Report for July 2023. On Thursday, July 6th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, the temperature is 84 degrees. We're headed for a high of 86. Mid-80s through the weekend, then 90s Monday to Friday. Chance of rain today's Thursday. Chance of rain Friday and Saturday and then next Wednesday, but we'll see how that pans out because we've had predictions in the past. It was supposed to have some decent rain the last couple of days and we did not. So, yeah, we're in drought. I drove by the Merle 50 access a few days back and I could see the ramp up out of the water. So I didn't even bother going there. It's going to be low water. So I'm on Binder Lake. And I am 2/3 to 3/4, yeah, 2/3 of the way around. I've gone almost 2 miles. It'll be a little over 2.5 when I'm done paddling. And there's a slight breeze. I started out and there was none. I'm by the lily pads taking photos thinking, oh, this is a lot better than last time. Because yes, this is my 3rd time on Binder Lake. Much better than last time because all the bird photos that I took with my SLR, I couldn't keep the boat still. And so, yeah, they weren't in focus. So hopefully today I was able to get some still spots and hopefully focused on some birds. But yeah, I was thinking to myself, how nice, it's so calm. And then I got out into the lake and got halfway around and the wind started picking up. And sometimes it's like a 10-mile-an-hour breeze. So actually I was in the cove that I usually record from just prior to this, and I did a video, but the wind picked up and it was blowing into the microphone, so I switched directions, did it again, and the wind was blowing into the microphone. It was swirling, I guess. And then at one point a wasp landed right on the lens, so that was pretty cool. So I'm trying it again. We'll see how this works out. More time recording than paddling by the time I'm done, right? Yeah, usually it's about 2 hours just to paddle around the lake. You know, 2.5, take some pictures, and then stop to record. I've seen the usual suspects, except I have not seen one turtle. No, I guess maybe it's the heat. I don't know what it is, but I haven't seen any turtles. I haven't seen any cormorants either. But I've seen the swans, saw a killdeer, saw a red-winged blackbird, and the egret that I saw last month, that I thought I saw for the first time. Well, I've seen it for the 2nd time or more today, and it let me get within 100 feet of it, I think. So I got some decent pictures with my SLR, plus I got some video of it, I think. You may be looking at it right now. And a great blue heron. I saw 3 of those. 2 of them were rather close to each other. One flew in towards the other, and then the other one, which was smaller, ruffled its feathers up. So I don't know if it was a mating thing going on or if it was a territorial or what, but suddenly they realized I was too close and they took off. And it's interesting to see them because it looked like they're flying and landing on lily pads or standing on the water. But this lake is just, it's a flooded valley and they cut trees down. There are some trees that are still standing 8, 10, 20, 30 feet high. Some are 40, 50 feet high. And some are just above the water. And some are just below the water, some of those stumps. And so, yeah, and it's, yeah, they walk on water. I have not seen any fishing boats. I saw a guy taking a small fishing boat out of the water. I talked with him. He had some luck. He caught some fish, so that was good. And I've seen signs of fishermen. I've seen this before, but I took a video, so maybe you're looking at that now if it came out. But there's a tree that's got to be 60 feet out of the water. And it's caught a couple of fishing bobbers. Yeah, about 40 feet up in the air. Someone, I would guess, had to cast them up there to do that. Why would you do that? Well, someone did. So yeah, there's that. You could say it's a sunny day, but it's real high clouds. They're thicker than last time. Last time I said, yeah, there's clouds, you wouldn't know they're there. Well, you know they're there, but they're just so high that, and there's puffy clouds around the horizon. So I guess, you know, maybe that rain will come tomorrow. Yeah. I saw about 3 kayakers. Now at least one of them had to be a rental because the Parks Department has started something new, and I saw this last time. I was wondering what it was. It was in the paper this past week. They have rentals. It's a cage that's got 4 kayaks in it with doors on the end, and you access it with something similar to a bird scooter app. And I think the paper, I'll double check this, but I think it said it was 20 bucks for 4 hours, something like that. But I'll tell you what, if you wanted to make a summer out of it and do it every week, hell, you'd pay for half a kayak. Yeah, but they include a paddle and a vest. So there you have it. Yeah. All right, other things to talk about. My sprained ankle that I talked about last time. After about 3 weeks, I was walking on it no problem. And even that, well, here now, it's probably 5 weeks. It's been 4 weeks since my last kayak, so it's at least 5 weeks since I sprained it. And I can walk on it no problem. Wouldn't even know. I'd say it's probably 90% down in swelling. It'd probably take a while for that soft tissue to go the rest of the way down. That or I'm going to get fat leg. Yeah. Nothing else going on medically. I drove up to the doctor last week for my 6th month. While I was riding up there, it was a dark sky, man. Driving up to Columbia, black. It was gray over Jeff City, and then Columbia was black. And I got to thinking about a poem, and so I started listening to Miles Davis. There's this piece, it's a soundtrack for a French film noir, which I've since got from the library and watched, which is pretty cool. But yeah, Miles Davis did the soundtrack for it. It was improv. They recorded it as he watched the movie. La censure pour l'échafaud, which is elevator to the gallows. Yeah, because I got to thinking about, you know, geez, health and people I know that have had some real health scares lately and issues. And so I sort of wrote about that. And guess what? That was last week, and 2 days ago, it was published by Rusty Truck. So that's pretty cool. So that's a random riff, right? One of my driving poems. And when we went to Kansas, I mentioned that last time, a month ago, I wrote one on the way back from there, and I have submitted that. I submitted that yesterday. And so we'll see what happens with that. And then 2 weeks after that Kansas trip, and after my last video, we went back to Kansas. We went to Lawrence, Kansas to see Bonnie's other uncle. It was for his funeral. So, yeah. She got to meet a cousin that she has not had, that she had met only once before when her cousin was just a teenager, I believe. So she got to make a connection there. You know, that's what happens at funerals, right? And funerals, geez, it seems to be that that's half my traveling, you know, in these later years. Yeah. So, oh, and 5 more of my random riffs have been accepted. They will be published in October. River Dog Zine, and that's a limited publication. I think it's like 100 issues. And 5 of those will be in that. So that is pretty cool. So those 5, this one the other day, and the one that was in Trailer Park Quarterly a few weeks back. That makes 7 of them published or to be published. So that's pretty cool. And I'm writing more. I actually wrote another one the other day too. Or working on one. Yeah. I'm working on one today, in fact. So, that egret is just, it's flying back and forth across the lake. That's pretty neat. This white wing is just beaten. It's pretty cool. Also, hey, I talked about the Hoosier cabinet, or the Hoosier style cabinet, and I had a picture of it last time. Well, I ended up getting it. It's all wood, it's oak. It's a little darker than what's in our kitchen because it's close to 100 years old. And newer hardware has been put on it, very simple hardware. So I'm going to look into, because I actually, a year ago when I was looking into these kind of cabinets, you can buy reproductions for the hardware. So I'm going to check that out and see if I can't do that. Now the upper part of it, and it has a tambour door, you know, like a garage door that opens. And above it, the cabinets have been painted white inside to make it look more kitchen-y. And I don't like that. We don't like that. So have to take the top and the back off, and that's possible. And strip it down. Yeah. And it has metal drawers. Yeah. And so they had a couple of rust spots, so I sanded those down, sprayed them a neutral medium brown on the inside, and on the outside I left them the metal, and I put a clear coat on that. So I took care of that. And the next step is to put an outlet in the wall behind that cabinet. Now this is at the end of the pantry, at the end of our cabinets, and there was like probably 5 feet of wall, and this covers a little less than 4 of it. And no outlet there at all. Directly on the other wall in the living room, where the wall ends, you go around, you're in the living room, there's an outlet. So I'll cut a hole in the wall and I'll tap off of that. Because we don't need a lot of power. The only thing, pretty much maybe a lamp and KitchenAid mixer. Yeah, and that was the reason for getting it, for having that extra counter space, because the top actually pulls out. The countertop actually pulls out. Now it's about 6 inches lower than a normal cabinet countertop, but it works. And so the KitchenAid's there. Yeah. So yeah. That's that. Oh yeah. We'll be traveling in a week. I'm going to Kingston, New York. It's a 1,300-mile trip. Do it in 5 or 6 days. It's 2 days driving, 1,300 miles. 2 days driving, and then there a day or two, and 2 days driving back. I am traveling with John Dorsey, a poet friend who is well published, and he is going to be a featured reader. And there's going to be a book release for one of his books while we're there. So that's pretty cool. And I think there's going to be an open mic too after that, so I can read. But the whole thing is, I'm going to meet several poets that I've gotten to know online, and one of them actually, she published one of my random riff poems in Trailer Park Quarterly. So yes, that'll be nice to make some connections. Okay, well that's it. Poetry. I haven't done a lot on my blog. Did I say that? I might have said that. If I've done a half dozen since a month ago that I made this video, it's a lot. But I'm happy with what I'm writing. Yeah. Alright, well, that's that, and this is this, and I'm going to be out of here and paddle across. I'll have my 2.5 miles when I'm done. This has been your Mid-Missouri Kayak and Weather Report for July 2023. Ciao folks, and vlog on.